بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألف لام ميم تنزيل الكتاب لا ريب فيه من رب العالمين.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم إنا نسألك الإخلاص. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد. آمين يا رب العالمين. Okay, inshallah. So today we are continuing. The days are going by very, very fast. Subhanallah. You can really see how quickly we are moving through the surah. We're already on the last side. If you're following the Osmani script, subhanallah, may Allah accept this all from us, our efforts. And keep our intention sincerely for him. We are continuing, inshallah, today with ayah number 22. So let's start with, of course, with the isti'adha and the basmala. Sister Shireen, if you'd like to join me for this, please. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Just be careful of the ra, especially when you say ar-rahim. It sounds like you are rounding the lips a little bit. And it sounds like ar-ra, ra. So ar-ra, right? You want the clear fatha. So we'll try this one again. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Paragraph much better, alhamdulillah. Well done. Okay, so we come now to the beginning of this ayah. We have straight away we have the word waman and followed by a hamza. We have this noon sakin followed by the hamza. This is what we call an izhar halqi rule. We pronounce the noon clearly. So we've seen some rules where we keep saying don't put your tongue at the place of noon. For this one, because we are pronouncing the noon clearly, yes, you do put your tongue at the place. The tip of the tongue does go to the place of noon. You do say waman, and you do go to the makhraj or the articulation point of noon. And noon is a tawassut letter, so we do stay on it for a little bit before going on to the next word. So here we do not rush and say waman'a. We say waman'a. You see that little bit of a hold on the noon makes it clear on the ears that there is a noon being read. We then have a hamza, of course, shidda. It's nice and sharp. It's light. It's joined with the letter dha. Now, I don't think we've seen much of letter dha in this surah, so I do want to kind of just mention a little bit about it. The dha is a heavy letter. It's like for example, the dad. We've seen sad before as well. It's a heavy letter, and not only is it a regular heavy isti'la letter, but it is also a letter of itbaq. Okay, and this means that just like the sad, you have the trapping sound. You have the sound of trying to keep the sound inside the mouth, not letting it flow freely, and sometimes it's described as an echoey type of sound. So here, if it was mutaharrik, we would say Allah, Lu, Li. Sister Shireen.
What do you want me to say, Ustadhi?
Just the mutaharrik. Allah, Lu, Li.
Wa, Lu, Li.
Yes. So this is good, Baraka Fiki, good. But what I want to do, Sister Shireen, is just to polish it up even more. What's happening is when you say the mutaharrik, I can hear the sound of the sakin verb first. I hear a l first. So it's la, lu, li, right? You don't want to be doing that. You want to go straight for the fatha and say la, lu, li.
Wa, Lu, Li.
The va and the li were good. The lu, inshallah, just needs that still had it. Again?
Lu.
Yes. Barakallah fiki. Good. Alhamdulillah. Well done. So the dha has this itbaq and it has this isti'la. The makhraj of the dha is is the tip of the tongue. It comes from the same place as the letter dal. So the dal we've shown before is where the tongue kind of sticks out a little bit, right? It's the tip of the tongue, or what we say tarful lisan, with the bottom edge of the front incisors, the upper two incisors, right? So the tip of the tongue sticks out. Now for the dha, the tongue hardly sticks out at all. It's almost like level with the teeth. If you can see the model, for those of you that are with me in the live, you can the tip of the tongue doesn't really stick out. It's kind of level with the teeth. So it's the very tip of the tarful lisan, which is actually on the touching the upper two incisors. The other thing I want to mention is that the touch is not a hard or firm touch. It is a light touch, and the reason it needs to be light is because if you press too hard, you'll cut off the sound. You'll say oh, and you won't be able to see it doesn't run. You'll say oh, and it just stops. If you do it very gently, you can allow the sound to keep flowing, and it needs to. This letter is a letter of Rakhawa. It's one of the ones like Sin that keeps running. So we say L, L, you let it run. Okay, and then you smoothly go on to the light lam and the light meme. So be careful because you have got a heavy va, but the letter after it is light straight away. You want to make sure that this lam is light. So you say el-la, not el-la. If you're saying la, then the la is incorrect. The lam, remember we said in the name of Allah, the lam can be heavy, can be light. But in any other word, the lam is always light, whether it has a fatha, dhamma, or kasra. So the only time we have to really pay attention is with the name of Allah, and we need to think about the heavy or the lightness of the lam. Then we have here mimman. We have a mim mushaddad here. Again, akmal gunna. We're going to hold the joining of the memes. Mim, and there is a gunna. There is a nasalization with that. Mimman, mimman. So we hold the joining. This is now followed by a noon sakin, followed by a dal. Okay, so this is an ikhfa haqiqi rule. It has a light gunna. Why light? Because the letter after it is a light letter. Okay, so again, just to remind you, see if you can remember the details yourself before I even say them. How do we pronounce the ikhfa haqiqi? We do not we have to hide the noon. How do we hide the noon? We do not let our tongue go to the place of noon. We don't say man, rather the tongue gets ready for the next letter. And in this case, we have the letter dal. So for the letter dal, the tongue does come out a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. It's a light letter. And so you go close to the makhraj of the dal, but you don't pronounce the dal until you want to pronounce the dhamma or the pesh that's on it. So we say mimma dhukir, mimma dhukir. Sister Isha, if you could do this one for me, please. Sister Isha, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, what do I read?
If you could please just do it, just saying the two words, mimma dhukir.
Mimman dhukir.
Not bad. Your ra at the end has a little bit of air. You just want your voice to come through for the ra because it's not a hams letter, it's jahar. Mimma dhukir.
Mimman dhukir.
Good, not bad, mashallah. Good, alhamdulillah. The ra can be a little bit lighter than you read, but it's not too bad, alhamdulillah. So you'll see that you hold the mimman and then the madhu, the ikhfa is also, the gunna is longer. Okay. Now, because we stopped, we put a sukoon on the ra. And then we look at the letter before it and what haraka it has. It has a kasra. So when we stopped, the way I read dhukir, the ra was light. Because it was sakina, we looked at the letter before, it had a kasra. If we continue reading, then we do not need to consider the letter before. We look at the fatha on the ra. Because of the fatha, it's heavy. So in continuation, we say dhukira. We'll pronounce the ra heavy. Then we have the word bi'ayat. Now here we have again the sharp hamza followed by a mad badal. This alif is a mad badal, it's 2 counts. And the ya has an alif saghira after it. This also is mad tabi'i, it's harakatain waslan. It's 2 counts in continuation. If we stopped on this word, then this mad would become longer. So if I was reading in continuation, it would be bi'ayati rabbih. But if I stopped on this word, it would be ayat. See the ya, the alif after the ya becomes longer because it becomes when in stopping it is mad'arid li sukun, 2, 4, or 6 counts in the case of stopping. So you can have those 3 options. You can pick any of them, inshallah. Then we have rabbihi, the ra again, heavy ra because of the fatha on it. It's joined with the ba, rabbihi. Remember we mentioned for the ba is a qalqala letter. But when it has a shadda, when it has that W type sign on it, we do not do the qalqala then. We do not say rabba bihi. We say rabbihi. There is no qalqala in this case. We then have the ya saghira here. This is a mad sila sughra. Again, it's a 2-count mud. So you can see that there's a few 2-count muds. I mentioned here mad badal, which was 2 counts. I mentioned here mad tabi'i, right? This was also 2 counts. And now I'm mentioning mad sila sughra, and this is also 2 counts. So why different names? Because they are different, slightly different circumstances. With mad badal, there's a hamza involved. With tabi'i, that's the regular 2-count mud. With sila sughra, is this ya saghira, which is only read in continuation. It's not read when we stop on rabbi, for example. We do not pronounce the ya in that case. Thumma, we have a mim mushaddad, again, longest gunna, akmal gunna. A'rad. Now here we have to be careful. This is probably the toughest word that we have in this ayah in terms of tajweed and pronunciation, especially for us non-Arabs. Because what we see is we have a hamza, which is nice and relaxed. It's joint with an ain, right? We say We start off nice and relaxed. Then we squeeze after when we go for the ain. The ra is heavy, so we say ra. And then then it is followed by the letter dad. Again, isti'la letter, heavy. It's got to be heavier than the ra. It's also got the added layer of itbaq, so it's going to be the trapping sound, trying to keep it in. So the dad should sound heavier than the ra. If this is going over your head and you're new to this, don't worry. If they sound the same, it's okay when you're beginner's level. This is something which is a bit more advanced, where you try to distinguish between the heaviness of letters. So this you pronounce as Pupuji Oksana, if you'd like to join me for this. أعرض.
أعرض.
Good. Now the only thing is your ain is better than before. There's still a slight relaxing. So remember we were saying keep it tense. Keep the squeeze. So let's do that again. It's better. It's not how it was before. So it's alhamdulillah, it is better, barakallahu fiki. But just you can make it better still. أعرض.
أعرض.
The dal, yeah, good. The dal was heavier than the ra, which is good. The ain, keep practicing, mashallah. You're almost there. Good, alhamdulillah. Then we have the word anha, the noon sakin followed by the ha. This is again idhar halqi, just like we saw at the beginning with waman awlam. The noon is clear, it's tawassut. We say an, there's no hiding. We go for the noon. The tongue touches the place of noon, and then we go to the ha. Sister Shireen, if you could join me for this first line. ومن أظلم ممن ذكر بآيات ربه ثم أعرض عنها.
ومن أظلم ممن ذكر بآيات ربه ثم أعرض عنها.
Good. أعرض, good, mashallah. The dad can be heavier. So just the dad. أعرض.
أعرض.
Good. Barakallahu fiki. Good. Alhamdulillah. Then we have inna, noon mushaddad, akmal gunna. Now, sometimes we have in the mushaf, you will see the word inna without an alif. And sometimes, like we have here, there is an alif. It's very important that we make that distinguish the two, because the alif does add an extra meaning. Okay, so if we do not say the alif, we're changing the meaning. So we need to make sure that the alif is there. So we say inna, Pupuji Oksana?
إنا.
Good. Then we have minal mujrimina. We had yesterday the word minal adhab, and we mentioned the iltiqa'u sakinin here, that there were 2 sukuns together. Originally, it was the word min. So here, because of iltiqa'u sakinin, the noon has taken a fatha, because the word min, when it's involved with the 2 sukuns, it always takes a fatha. So we're seeing the same thing happening here that we saw yesterday, mina. Okay, the noon is then joint with the lam. Lam is tawassut. Be careful here with the jim. The jim is qalqala. We bounce it. We say al-mujrimina. Pupuji?
المجرمين.
And just sharpen up that kasra
Mm.
for me, Papaji. You know, they're on the ra. Al-mujrimina.
Al-mujrimina.
That's it, Barakallahu feek, much better. And then finally we have muntaqimun, the nun fatsakin followed by the ta. This is the same, we've seen this before in the word kuntum. I think that was from yesterday as well. This is ikhfa haqiqi again. So same thing as we saw with mimman dhukkira. We do not, the tongue doesn't go to the place of nun. This time it's going to get ready for the ta. So close to the makhraj of the ta, nice and light. Papaji, muntaqimun.
Muntaqimun.
You want to keep the ta light as well, Papaji. So
Mm.
not ta, ta. Muntaqimun.
Muntaqim. Muntaqimun.
Munta.
Munta.
So what you want to do, Papaji, is when you circle the lips for the dhamma, when you say mu, when you start the ikhfa and you start doing the ghunna, don't keep your lips circled because then your ghunna sounds like mu. It starts to sound heavier. So relax the lips when you start saying the ghunna. At the beginning, you say mu, circle the lips. And then when you start saying the ghunna, relax the lips. Mu, muata.
Muntaqimun.
Good. Probably the back of the tongue is slightly lifted as you're doing the ghunna. So relax the back. Keep it down. Muataqimun.
Muntaqimun.
Yes, yes. Now it sounds a lot better, Barakallahu Fiki. You'll notice that the qaf here is a heavy letter. Probably your qaf was fine, alhamdulillah, just for everyone at home. The qaf is a heavy letter. It has a kasra. For those of you that have studied with us and have learnt about the levels of heaviness, you'll know that this qaf, because of the kasra, is the lowest level of heaviness for both opinions. And this means that we don't over-exaggerate it. We don't say, for example, muntaqi, qi, this qi sound, we do not need to do this. This is over-exaggerated. It's something which comes more naturally. And it's still heavy, but it's not so heavy. So probably yours was good. Let's try it one more time. Muataqimun.
Muntaqimun.
Good. Barakallahu fiki, probably good. Alhamdulillah. Your ta can be a little bit lighter. It's lighter than before, but it can be a little bit lighter still. Let's start from inna and let's put this all together. Inna minal mujrimina muntaqimun.
Inna minal mujrimina muntaqimun.
Good, Papaji. Try not to rush the inna. Take your time. Do the gunna, but then also do the alif. Don't forget the alif. Inna minal mujrimina muntaqimun.
Inna minal mujrimina muntaqimun.
Good, Barakallahu Fiki, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah, Papaji. One thing I do want to draw your attention to, everyone's attention to, is when you say al-mujri. Now, because the jim is qalqala, it's followed by a ra, and you want to get the kasra right. But be careful not to start getting ready for the kasra and the e sound too early, because you could be saying, for example, al-mujr, this is correct, al-mujr, ja. The qalqala is mujr. You don't want to be saying al-mujri. This is when you're starting too early to get ready for the kasra. You don't want to say al-mujiri. You want to say al-mujrimina. Probably try that word again for me.
Al-mujrimina.
Okay, so I just want to do mujr first. Mujr.
Muj.
Yeah, but try to keep your voice going as well, probably. Mujr.
Muj. Muj.
Yeah, this one's better. Try again. Mujr.
Muj.
Yeah, be careful not to, you don't want too much of the ch sound, Papaji. You want more your voice. Mujr, j. Mujr.
Muj.
This is better. Now keep this mujr. Al-mujrimina.
Al-mujrimina.
That's better. Barakallahu fiki. You're gonna have to practice this, Papaji, because you need to the qalqala right, but you also need to remember the kasra for the ra. Okay, the e sound. Jazakallah khairan. Barakallahu fiki, Papaji. Excellent. Alhamdulillah. Then we come to the next ayah. The next ayah is walaqad. We start with walaqad. The qaf, of course, is heavy. The dal again is qalqala. Walaqad. Walaqad. Sister Isha.
ولقد
But you have to be careful here that the qalqala is not too slow. If your qalqala is too slow, it will sound like you're adding a zabar or a fatha on it. You don't want to say wala qada. If you say wala qada, it sounds like you're saying putting a zabar or a fatha on the dal. You don't want to do that. The qalqala is normally not too fast, but it's a little bit quicker in pace when you get to the qalqala. We'll try this again, Sister Isha. Wala qada.
ولقد
A little bit quicker still. So you say when you get to the dal, walaqad, when you get to the makhraj and your tongue touches the top for the dal, don't stay there. Don't push off. As soon as you touch it, let your tongue just bounce off the top. Walaqad.
ولقد
This is a bit better. Good. Alhamdulillah. So you just let it bounce off the top. Good. Atayna, we have a mad badal here, 2 counts. Atayna. The ya is rakhawa, let it run. Atayna. And then, of course, you have the mad tabi'i, 2 count again at the end. Atayna. Atayna. Musa, we have a mad tabi'i again with the waw here. Musa, don't rush this one. The scene is joint with the lam. There was a iltiqa sakinin here, for those of you that know. There was an alif saghira after the scene which had a sukoon on it. We have a sukoon on the lam, and then as a result, mud letters are normally dropped. So we drop the mud letter and we move from the scene to straight to the lam. Lam, of course, is tawassut. The alif here after the ta is mad tabi'i harakatain, 2 counts in the case of continuation. If we stopped on this word, it would become mad arid li sukoon for 2, 4, or 6 counts. Okay, fala again mad tabi'i, 2 counts. Takun here now with the noon sakin followed by the fa. This is another ikhfa haqiqi, just like we've seen with what words was it? Mimman dhukira. We also saw it with the word muntaqimun, and we see it again here, but this time with the letter fa. So again, what are we doing? We hide the noon. Don't go to the makhraj of noon. Get ready for the fa. Takun fi. Takun fi. You can see if you're those of you that are with me with the live. Takun. I'm getting ready for the fa, but I'm not pressing on the fa until I say the fi part. Okay. We have mirya. The ra here is light because it's carrying a sukoon. We look at the letter before. The letter before has a kasra, and this is the reason we make the ra light. And the ra is tawassut, so you let it run a little bit, not too long. Mirya. Mirya. Okay, you let it run for a bit. Here we have with the tanween followed by the mim. We have an idgham kamil. So this is where the noon sound that we can hear when we say tin, that noon sound that you can hear at the end, is merging and becoming a letter meme instead. Okay, so no part of that noon is remaining. It's becoming a full-blown meme. So we say miryatim min. Sister Isha?
مرية من
Good. Okay. And then also, if we carry on, you'll see that again we have a noon sakin followed by the letter lam. This is another idgham, and this is another idgham kamil. So again, the noon is merging and becoming a full lam. None of the noon is going to stay. It's becoming a full lam, and there is no nasalization. So we don't say mil, 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 nothing like this where you're adding a ghunna. Instead, you're going from the meme straight to the lam. Milli, milli. And then the heavy qaf, it has a mad wajib muttasil with it. So 4 or 5 counts we prolong this mad for. Waslan wa waqfan. It doesn't matter if you stop at the end of this word, if you stopped here, or if you carried on reading onto the next word, it doesn't matter. This would be 4 or 5 counts regardless. If we continue reading, then this ya saghira we've seen as we saw in the previous ayah is mad sila to sughra. It is 2 counts. But however, if I stopped on this word, I wouldn't read this mud. I would say liqa'i. And the ha then would be rahawa, and I will let it run. Sister Isha, if you could join me for this. Let's start it from the beginning. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابَ فَلَا تَكُنْ فِي مِرْيَةٍ.
ولقد آتينا موسى الكتاب فلا تكن في مرية
فلا تكن في مرية من لقائه.
فلا تكن في مرية من لقائه
Okay, so a couple of things here, Sister Isha. So one is miryah. When you say mir, Back of the tongue is completely relaxed and open. The only thing that's moving when you get to the ra is the طرف اللسان. The tip of the tongue is coming up, but nothing changes at the back with the back of the tongue. Only the tip of the tongue is coming up. Keep it nice and light. Mirya.
مرية
So you're going mir. Let your sound come forward and straight out. Mirya.
مرية
It's a little bit better, but it can still be polished. The other thing I want to draw your attention to is when you say milli, there was a gunna as you did the idgham. So remember, no gunna here. It's just milli, milli qa'i.
من لقائه
Not bad. One more time. Milli qa'i.
من لقائه
Barakallah fiki, jazakallah khairan. And then we have وَجَعَلْنَاهُ. This lam, for those of you that know and studied with us, you know that this is lamul fi'l, and this is idhar. We pronounce it clearly, and it is tawassut. The alif here is mad tabi'i, harakatain. 2 counts if we carry on reading. So we say وَجَعَلْنَاهُ هُدًى. But if I stopped, I can say وَجَعَلْنَاهُ. It becomes mada'alid sukun, 2, 4, or 6 counts. Then here we have the tanween. Again, we have a tanween followed by the lam. This is exactly the same as what we saw with the milli. Milli, what happened? The noon changed and fully merged into a lam. In this case, the noon that you hear in hudan at the end, hudan, that noon sound that you can hear is going to change and fully become a lam. Again, there is no gunna. Here we say hudalli, hudalli. There is no noon sound in this case. Then we have Bani Israel. Now, the ya mad here, if we carried on reading with the word Israel, it is mad jaiz munfasil. We've seen this quite a few times in this surah. Mad jaiz munfasil is 4 or 5 counts. Waslan, if you carried on reading. If I stopped on this word, then it wouldn't be. Then it would be 2 counts. It would be a regular mad tabi'i. We would say libani and stop. Okay, but if we carried on reading, it's libani Israel. This alif here is again mad wajib muttasil, just like we saw in liqa'i. It's 4 or 5 counts long, regardless of whether you stop or you carry on at the end of this word. And then we of course have Israel. This ya is a mad badal in the case of waslan. However, waqfan, it is mad arid sukun, 2, 4, or 6 counts. And then the lam is the wasut at the end. Let's put it together. وَجَعَلْنَاهُ هُدًى لِبَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ.
وجعلناه هدى لبني إسرائيل.
Okay, so a couple of things there, Pupati Jazakallah khairan. One is the scene we know is Rakhawa, so let it run. Okay, that's an easy one for you to fix, inshallah. The other one is after you do the idgham here, when you say hudalli, and then you go into bani, make sure the ba is nice and light. You say ba, not liba, liba. Yeah, let the voice come out, let the lips separate, complete the fatha and say ba, open the mouth, and then go for the noon. Let's try it again. Hudalli bani Israel.
هدى لبني إسرائيل.
Good. The other thing, properties, when you say hudalli, the fatha on the dal as well. You don't say hudal, hudal. Keep it nice and light. Let's say it from waja'alna. وَجَعَلْنَاهُ هُدًى لِبَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ.
وجعلناه هدى لبني إسرائيل. هدى لبني إسرائيل.
Okay, we're going to repeat this properly. I'm just going to underline the things you need to focus on. So, da and ba, the 2 fathas, right? The sin, let it run, and the ra is heavy. Hudal, huda. So open your mouth for the da, then go for the lam. So don't, if you don't open the mouth enough, then the fatha won't be clear. So just how you say dal, fatha da, open the mouth the same. Huda, hudal bani Israel.
هدى لبني إسرائيل.
2 out of 4, Populi. You got the some of it was right, some of it wasn't right. So the scene was good. You kept it running. The ra was light. Israel.
إسرائيل.
Barakallah fi. Jazakallah khair, Pupaji. Just practice that because there's a few different things you need to think about. It's hard to remember them all. So keep practicing, and when you practice, say it slowly to yourself so that you can give yourself the time. But I would make a note of it because this word comes a lot in the Mus'haf. It comes a lot in the Quran, Bani Israel. So it'll be good to sort of get familiar with the ba and say it properly. Ba, the fatha needs to be nice and light. Seen, make sure you let it run. And then don't forget the ra, that needs to be heavy too. Okay. Jazakallah khairan. We will stop there inshallah. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikri al-Hakim. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Amin ya rabbil alamin.